Hey all, and welcome back to the worst channel on YouTube. As usual, I'm Matt Novum, and welcome to a brand new series on my channel, Testing Buddhism. The title probably makes no sense right now, so let me just explain. So, as I explained a little while ago, I ended my series on centrism, which is my interpretation of Buddhism, for a few different reasons. But mainly, I'm no expert on Buddhism, and I'm certainly not enlightened. Sure, I've studied a lot, but those videos made it seem like I was preaching or something, and that really wasn't my intention. And another reason I ended it is because everything I had to say really had been said. Doesn't mean I won't learn more as I go and have more to say, but right now, it just kind of felt like a natural stopping point. So, yeah, but I still wanted to have Buddhist content on my channel, so I sat around and thought about it for a while, and that's when I thought of this. So, going back a little further, last year, I decided to try and run an experiment. I had always heard that if you buy views on YouTube, or buy subscribers for that matter, that you can get your channel deleted or at the very least demonetized. But then I fell down a rabbit hole on this topic, researching through, Reddit and other articles and blogs and things like that. And the consensus amongst small creators, at least, is that success on YouTube requires purchasing views and subscribers, at least to start. And this is primarily because of YouTube's algorithm. It only prioritizes videos that have high watch time, and so if you're a small creator, you'll never get watch time, so you'll never be promoted. It's like that old problem with employment. You need experience to get the job, but you can't get experience until you have the job, so what are you supposed to do? So, to most people trying to seriously start on YouTube and who don't want to rely completely on just blind luck, buying views and subscribers to kickstart things seems to be pretty normal. Yet, I was still scared to do that for my channel because, I didn't want to risk losing it. So, I started a fake channel and tried to see if I could promote that one through purchased views and subscribers. I didn't promote it in any other way, and I just wanted to see what would happen. On that channel, I tried to make a creepypasta. Essentially, I just made some creepy videos that were nonsensical, hoping that people would share them in an attempt to figure them out. I fully intended to reveal that it was a fake channel, and I was only trying to, see if YouTube penalized me or even promoted me for buying views and subscribers. Because here's the thing. If YouTube could reliably detect any fake views or subscribers, then these services would be weaponized immediately. If you don't know what I'm talking about, think about it. If some creator or fan had a strong enough grudge against some other creator, they would just go ahead and buy views and subs for that channel to get it shut down. Since that doesn't happen, it's reasonable to conclude that views and subscribers can be safely purchased, at least some of the time through some method or another. So the question then becomes, is it worth the risk? And for my experiment, I can say that it's really not. So part of the reason I didn't make a separate video on this whole fake channel, which was my original intent, is because it's irrelevant at this point. No, YouTube didn't send me a shutdown notice or warning or anything. In fact, I don't even think they could detect it, because I didn't really buy enough subscribers or views to really be noticeable. I didn't buy millions of views or millions of subscribers or anything crazy like that. I kept it pretty normal, pretty standard. Because, see, my intention was to see if YouTube would see any purchased views and not to intentionally deceive the system. I never intended to be monetized or anything on this fake channel. I was just running an experiment. The problem was that no matter which of the services I went through, and there are tons of them to buy views and subscribers, I got views that were barely 15 seconds in duration and completely dead subscribers who didn't watch anything. Now, I didn't really expect much different, especially from the subscriber count, but every one of these services that sells views claims that they will always be quote-unquote high-quality, long-duration views. So I can pretty safely say that these claims are lies. All of these services just give you the bare minimum, and don't believe them when they say, oh, these are going to be long views, these are going to be actual engagement, because they're not. So, without any drama of having a warning letter from YouTube or shutdown or anything like that, and also having received no promotion, I just discontinued the experiment because it was pretty much worthless and a waste of time. In addition, I've been having some financial troubles lately, so spending money on useless views was just not worth it. But I can report that it wasn't all wasted time. While I learned that any of these third-party view services were junk, there is a couple of methods of buying views that does seem to be worth it. First one is Google Ads. Yes, Google owns YouTube, so this makes sense, but they have an ad program that makes your videos recommended more often than they normally would be, and they're called video discovery ads. And that's how I've been working to promote it. Because these are actual recommended videos through YouTube, chances are that the person clicking on it will stay longer, and so it doesn't drive down your average watch time. Plus, it's totally within YouTube's terms of service because, well, let's face it, you're giving money to Google, the owner of YouTube. In fact, you may have found this video via an ad campaign. I'm not sure if my finances will be better by the time this comes out, and remember, I do write these usually a couple months in advance, so right now it's late September. It takes a while to animate and everything. Now, another source of legitimate views that I found is Facebook ads, but I've found that you reach a lot more people a lot cheaper with Google Ads. When you look at the pricing programs between the two, Google Ads just really has the better program, honestly. The problem is, though, that Google Ads, at least in my experience, take a very, very long time to approve or deny your content. And I've actually written to Google a few times complaining about this because, I want to promote a video when it's released or close to the time it's released. And I even had a video ad campaign that was supposed to be approved within 24 hours, and after 3 weeks it was still not approved, so I just eventually canceled it and never heard back from Google. So they have a lot of work on their end to do in order to improve their ad program, but when the ad does run, it does seem to do better. I also tried to go through Twitter's ad service and try and promote tweets, but they told me that because I'm not a business owner that I wasn't able to run ads on Twitter, which I find to be kind of ridiculous. I'm like, all right, well, I was trying to give you money, but apparently you don't want it, so I'll take my business elsewhere. Thanks, Twitter. So that's the method I'm going through to attract more viewers. So if you ever wonder why some of my videos might have high view counts, even though my subscriber count isn't super high, that's why. I really am trying to grow my channel and I guess buy views if you want to look at it that way, but through legitimate sources because, I do want to grow my channel in the right way. Alright, so moving on from that, I bet you're wondering why I've gone on about this in a video about Buddhism. Well, I promise I have a point. First of all, I just wanted to talk about my experience buying views, but also this whole ordeal got me thinking about Buddhism. Specifically, that I was so attached to the success of my YouTube channel that I was willing to spend money that I didn't really have from, probably shady sources. And that trying to push this success was leading to a lot of internal suffering. I was thinking that I had gotten out of meditation, I wasn't practicing much, and in light of my preachy videos that I was ending, I just thought it was time to try and work more on my own mental health and my own growth. And that's when I had this idea. Why don't I use YouTube to track my progress? I like to watch videos of people trying things, and so this is my series on trying Buddhism, or I guess trying to reach enlightenment. I went through a few different titles for this one. I was gonna say trying enlightenment or Buddhist tries Buddhism or something. I was trying to think of something a little more clickbaity, I guess, but I just came up with trying Buddhism because I don't really know what else to call it. So, I am already a Buddhist. I'm not just trying it to see, if it's for me or anything, but it's more just getting more into my practice and, seeing what happens. I'm intending this to be a year-long experiment with 12 videos in total, one per month, detailing my experiences, struggles, and progress. I am limiting myself to that number because I still want my channel to be mostly comedy-focused. So if you don't give a crap about Buddhism, feel free to skip this one, and I'll see you in the next one. Okay, on to the meat and potatoes. For this experiment, goals and rules need to be set. I decided to post this close to New Year's because this is kind of my New Year's resolution, and I figured that's when all the animation and everything would be done. But know that as I've been working on this since September, the updates you're getting are going to be a couple months behind from where I'm at now. I'll try to post more up-to-date things on Twitter if anyone's interested. Just follow me at MattNovum. But with that said, let's get into the ground rules. First, I need to focus on balance in all things, as this is the most important thing to cultivate happiness. Second, I need to try and implement the Eightfold Path every day. The hardest part of this, for me at least, will be right view, to see the world as it is. Because, as much as I say it's a good thing to do, I struggle with it. I tend to only allow myself to see the negative, and in that way I'm not balanced. I'm very much a pessimist, so I will really need to stop and try to recenter myself if I'm ever getting in too negative of headspace. Third, I need to practice meditation regularly. Not sure what this looks like at the moment, but this means doing breath meditation, I'm thinking at least 3 times per week, and trying to be more actively mindful in my day-to-day life to observe my thoughts and not get so caught up in them. And fourth, I reserve the right to add new rules or change existing ones as they're needed. But I do promise that if I do change any of the rules or do anything like that, that I'll give at least a legitimate reason for them. I'm not just going to change them because, oh no, they're too hard or anything like that. So those are my 4 rules that I'm going to try and go off of, and, more may be added or taken away or, what have you, depending on what's needed. The main purpose of this is to really put Buddhism to the test. I recently heard this thing where if you're not willing to test your beliefs, then they really aren't your beliefs. And I think that's pretty common sense, but just the way it was phrased really got to me, and that's part of why I thought of this too. I have no expectation of reaching nirvana in this year, although I'm open to the possibility. I more just want to see if this leads to more contentment and happiness. I've always maintained that Buddhism is true because it's testable, holds up to scrutiny, and there's no faith required. But if I'm totally honest with myself, I've never taken too structured of an approach to practicing or been that diligent with it. The things that I've tried have been helpful, but I've never delved completely into it. So that's what I'm testing. Alright, so this is the first episode and the start of my year of enlightenment. I'd like it if others tried along with me too, but just remember I'm not enlightened either. I'm not a religious leader or spiritual leader, anything like that. I'm just some guy trying to test out Buddhism, so really don't follow me that way if that's what you're going to do. But, if other people want to try this year with me, I'm all for it. I think that'd be kind of cool. So if you'd like to join me in this quest, it'd be great, but just remember you're just doing it to test it, just like me. Okay, so that's it for this video, because obviously, as I'm just starting out, there isn't much to share right away, but I will keep the updates coming. Again, I'm going to try and update it once a month, and I'll try and post more updates on Twitter. I won't do the Twitter thing if people really aren't following me, because right now not many people do, but, if they start coming in, I'll start to post more regular updates. But anyway, I appreciate you watching the first episode here. I know there wasn't much content in terms of Buddhism, but I just kind of wanted to explain what I'm doing, where I'm going with this, what my plan is, and I wanted that little story about buying views. So, as always, thanks for watching, and tell your friends about this channel if you're so inclined. I still want to grow after all, so any shares or anything that you do, I'd really appreciate it. Anyway, don't forget to subscribe to become a hater, and I'll see you next time.